And we're live from the penthouse, ladies and gentlemen. Myself and Gods together for the first time, not on camera, but for a cast. We're looking forward to it, man. And
Yeah.
you've been kind of busy already today. I've actually been chilling out in the lounge pretty much all day so far. So,
Yep.
how's it been? I mean, you've gotten a better look at the action. We've been kind of watching some of the off-stream stuff.
Cast the first game, which was a pretty big showdown between NAR and the Sneaky Nick Sass, and Snark's getting an upset there. Done some observing and hosting since then. But yeah, it's been a good day. They've actually got some upsets today, which is different to yesterday. Yesterday, things pretty much went as expected. But today, we've seen E-Hug bounce back, take some big games. They took down Revenge as well as Snar. And then we've seen a couple upsets elsewhere as well. So it's really hard to predict where we stand. We're kind of theory crafting for a good 10 minutes
Oh,
about
at least.
who's actually going to get fourth place. It seems pretty clear NAR and Liquid will be 1-2. Snar, unless they bomb out and lose against teams they shouldn't, will be getting third place and fourth place. No one really knows right now.
Right now, just based on us looking at the standings, you can find these a variety of places as well to keep up with real-time standings. But it looks like it's a race to 5 and 6 right now. 6 pretty much guarantees you're at least going to be in the running coming down to the stretch in terms of tiebreaker possibilities and everything else. In a certain amount of circumstances, it's possible that 5 could get you into a tiebreaker. So for Revenge, this is a must-win. For top 5, they're pretty much in the same boat, and we actually just saw CMB take a loss. On the other side, unfortunately, they had a disconnect, so bound to be a little controversy there. But for the most part, the field is beginning to narrow itself down. We're beginning to see the teams. They're going to be right in there. This is a must-win, again, for Revenge and Top 5. To keep their chances realistic, they have to get a win as well. The draft is already underway, so how about we go ahead and jump on in. Once again, I'm AC, joined by Gods, and you're on the Beyond the Summit 2 stream as part of the NA Hub coverage of TI4, our coverage presented by Monster Energy. So I'll let you jump right in with the draft, man. Tree and Protector Mirana. Who'd have thought we'd see that?
These have been the two big heroes of the qualifier. And you've got, then I wouldn't say they're the most picked heroes, but partly because they're not really ban-worthy heroes. But
Right.
Treen's been having mixed results, and I'd say even losing more than it's been winning. Every time I've been seeing this hero picked up, it has been kind of struggling to actually win games. I think few teams quite understand why it's so good. They just kind of model themselves off of EG. They say, oh, EG, they pick Treen all the time. It's honestly a case of American teams are trying to copy the best American team right now and maybe not understanding how to use some of these heroes.
Right. And, well, it's funny you bring that up. We were actually talking with Fear very early, right when the day got started. We started talking about the tree picks because, once again, we started to see it show up over and over again. And he actually gave a real nice rundown in the lounge, and I'm sure it'll be available on a VOD at some point, as to why the hero is seeing mixed results. You're not seeing everyone able to replicate EG success, and of course, skill difference is a part of that. But the way he kind of summed it up, just to reduce it down to a sentence or two, is that Tree is a hero who either gives you a lot or gives you nothing. He's not a hero who's going to give you a little bit in the early game, a little bit in the mid game, and just kind of help carry you through. Either he gets you a big advantage early on, the strength of Leech Seed at level 1, he made a big deal of that. But of course, Living Armor. And one of the biggest things he said he had seen a lot of players doing on the tree here in the qualifier was wasting it, using it on heroes who maybe didn't need it that bad, or using it on towers who really weren't in that much danger to begin with. And yes, it's nice to have a tower at 100%, but in the early levels, you really have to use it situationally, conserve your mana, conserve the charges, and make sure that you're helping heroes out in other lanes so that the tree isn't just doing well in his lane, but helping other lanes as well.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good point, because Leech Seed level 1's very expensive on your mana. So if you have one less Leech Seed because of the Living Armor, then you could lose your lane because of it. So apart from the tree, we do see Nyx getting second pick by top 5. Revenge go for an early Keeper of the Light. I actually really like where Revenge have gone with this draft. Keeper of the Light plus Wraith King. We've seen Liquid do this style of draft where it's been Keeper of the Light with a Wraith King support, offensive tri-lanes from them as well. And now that Kunkka even comes out for Revenge. So
that hero is resurging, and literally just in the span of today. Kunkka's always around. He sometimes gets picked, but just in the last few hours, we've been seeing a lot of teams pick him up. Why do you think that is?
He has some nice matchups, especially in the mid lane. I don't think you see him too much as a tri-lane hero. Maybe as like a 4-position support, but mid lane, wins his matchups. He's a great initiator. You go for I think Mushi on the Team DK is one of the probably the best Kunkka out there, and using the X boat to initiate and then the torrent to follow it up is just such a powerful way to play the hero and to start off a fight. It basically forces your opponent to take a team fight, and right now top 5 haven't got a very good team fight. Tree and Protector Overgrowth is there, but that's not saying that's going to give you a lot of damage output, just locks heroes in place, and top 5 have no damage output between the Wisp and the Tree and Protector as their 2 supports.
Right, and that's kind of my question too. It's when you see the IO picked up, they already had the Nyx, they already had the Tree. Obviously, it fits into their lineup. You saw the Wraith King, and I'm actually not sure what the draft order was, but we've been seeing teams have a lot of success with IO Keeper of the Light. I actually talked extensively with Fear about that as well in terms of what you can do in terms of aggressive lanes when you put those two heroes together. The power, the global presence that you get from Relocate combined with recall is just tremendous. So do you think that Io was a pick the top 5 had in mind, or is it just a counter pick, something to take that away from Revenge?
I think it was saying they had in mind more likely. Revenge actually, they had the first pick coming out in the second pick stage, so they could have got the Io as their third pick, but haven't seen Revenge run much Io, and I think they wanted something with a bit more lockdown to set up the Mirana, especially with a Mirana on your team. You need something to be setting up those arrows. So the Kunkka does provide some of that, but we'll see how those lanes will they do. For now, top 5, Wisp Tiny, no real surprises there by the 4th pick. I think you get the Wisp. Some of the teams like NAR don't really care about getting the Tiny with the Wisp. They'll pick the Wisp on its own, but for most teams, it's Io plus Tiny all the way.
Yeah, and that's something that I've been curious about too, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Is IOCK fell off really, really hard, and the thing is, it's still very, very powerful. I mean, when it's still very effective in lane for the most part. You can get an early bottle or whatever else just to help CK's mana pool out. And Tiny tends to be much weaker in lane than I think he gets a lot of credit for. He can be bullied around a little bit because his mana pool is so low. Starting at level 1, he's obviously melee has his problems. Why do you think teams still prefer Tiny over the CK? Is it just the better late game or what?
CK does well in the laning stage, but beyond that, he really struggles. His mid-game presence is lacking. Reality Rift, you can get fogged so many times when you're trying to initiate with that. I think in the past, with CK was only so strong because you would just, any solo mid-hero, you'd straight up crush in the mid lane. You could do it from level 1 because Tether's stunned, and you combine that with a Reality Rift, which gives you a lot of bonus damage followed up. It was easy kills. Wisp Tiny is a bit slow to come online, but Tiny, his mana pool, once you hit level 3, you have 240 mana to use your Avalanche Toss combo, and Wisp gives you the mana you need. So Wisp will go for the fast bottle. So while the lane can't be aggressive at level 1, level 2, once you hit that level 3, you have your Wisp with a bottle, you're set. No one can fight you in a 1v2 scenario. You've got to have at least a dual lane against it, or you just got to basically lose the mid lane, depending if it is mid lane.
Makes a ton of sense, and it's just great to hear a little bit more depth and analysis on that. Taking a look, we're coming down to our last pick on either side, Revenge. Banning out the Storm Spirit with their last pickup, or their last ban, I should say, and the Luna banned out by top 5. So Revenge, obviously, and I've been catching some flack downstairs. I hopped aboard the Revenge hype train, and it's kind of gotten derailed. Now, Timbersaw, and I don't want to quote this as a complete 100% truth, but from what I understand, in the latest patch, Timbersaw has really not fared well at all, and that's why you've been seeing teams really kind of avoid the hero.
Yeah, he's very farm dependent. It's the main problem with him, and I think he's a lot better on the Radiant side because the Radiant offlane is just a whole lot easier to leech experience and just try and get some last hits because the Creepy Gloom just meets closer to your tower. So you can get away with a lot greedier offlanes like Timbersaw, Elder Titan that you can't do as much on the Dire side, but the hero's big problem is against tri lanes, if you shut him down at early levels, especially level 1, level 2, is where you want to beat the Timbersaw. Once Timbersaw gets his level 3, 4, 5 in the offlane, even in a 1v2, 1v3 scenario, or 1v3 scenario, I think Timbersaw can actually do really well. His damage output gets scary, but level 1, he's either got Timber Chain or Reactive Armor. If you go Timber Chain, you just force him to use it, force him to run away. If you go Reactive Armor, you just straight up kill him because he's got no escape. So the hero really struggles at early levels, and that's something where and then even beyond that, like if he's getting levels but no farm, I think the hero doesn't do much without the farm.
Well, we see Puck picked up for Fly as the last pick. I'm actually not sure who the mid player for top 5 is. Do you know off the top of your head?
No, this first time actually watching this qualifying.
Me too.
Surprising because they've been doing so well, so it's good to get a chance to actually see how they play.
Yeah, they're right there in the mix, without a doubt. So I'm just trying to predict their lanes. It looks like it could just be very conventional stuff with Io, Tiny, Tree, and Protector in the defensive position, Nyx Assassin, most likely on the offlane with Puck mid. But Puck, of course, excels in the offlane too. So on the side of Revenge, I think it's equally. I don't know, though. Now, when you start to look at it, like, how do you think Revenge is? Yeah, okay, Mystico's going to be on the Wraith King, so definitely a 100% support.
Support Wraith King. So put some benches onto the carry Moran. I think the one other thing top 5 can do is put Puck in the safe lane and do the Wisp Tiny mid.
Yeah.
So I think Nyx is definitely offlane. It's just whether Wisp Tiny is mid or safe lane, and Puck can go safe lane solo. You can put Treant's very flexible. You can put Treant almost.
You can roam with him if you want to.
Yes, exactly, and that's the thing I think Fear was highlighting is that you get the early boots or whatever it may be, and Leech Seed at level 1 is just such a powerful tool to use, and can be used to set up so many kills because of its early game power. So roaming Treant from top to bottom to mid, wherever he's needed, is a great way to play the hero.
Well, we got a quick pause, so hopefully we'll be back underway. It does seem like there have been some more tech issues plaguing teams today than in previous days, which is, of course, unfortunate because we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty. And in particular, what happened with was it Union Gaming?
CNB just
CNB,
recently, yeah.
Yeah, with them. They basically ended up playing a long game without a player. It was 4-on-5. They had to try to micro Venomancer because, and you know what, it wasn't as if they were rushed out. They were given half an hour by, it was Shadows, correct?
Yes, Shadows, yeah.
Yeah, Shadows gave them a half hour, and then I'm not sure if it was the admins that made the call or if Shadows made the call, but after a 30-minute pause, you know, just for the sake of schedules and everything else, they had to resume, and CMB came up short there. And because of that, they see their chances to make the postseason vastly diminished. I hate to put you on the spot, but just as a talking point while we wait through the pause, which actually looks like it's not going to be that long, but still going to ask you, of all the teams that are in contention right now, who do you think, who's your favorite to actually make top 4?
I think NAR Liquid, definite top 2. Snar should, I think Snar third, and I think 4th place at this stage. I'll probably go with EHUG. Well, I think they're going to end 6-4. We've talked about they've got 2 easy matchups left, so they'll go 6-4. They still got to rely on either other teams dropping down to 6-4, so they have to play some tiebreak matches, or if the other team's like top 5. Revenge can't get 6 wins. They've already lost 5 times. So the only way Revenge advances is if EHUG loses one of their remaining matches, which I think is actually unlikely. So for Revenge, it's win out, but even if you win out, you need to have some luck elsewhere. So I think EHUG is the big one, and then Union have 3 of the toughest matches left. I think Unions are in some trouble, and CNB, after losing to Shadows, I think EHUG could theoretically just be a straight-up 4th place team.
I love this. They're shaking it up and taking it away from what we thought it would be if they stick with this. This looks to be an O-try with the IO, the Tiny, and the Tree. And you can't underestimate Tree's power in an offensive tri-lane, and it's something that I remember not even that long ago, it seemed like everyone was downing Leech Seed, and it was just such a weak ability and everything else. But now whenever you talk to professional players, former pros, casters, whatever, the strength of Leech Seed at level 1 is just so immense. And in situations like this, it can end up making a difference. So we look at the way they're going to lane this out. As of right now, they've just got Binjaz down here in the off lane. We see an invasion force up here at top, but doesn't look like anyone's going to be very, very close. Smash is going to be in mid as anticipated. Smash on the Timber, mid-Timber.
Ooh, mid-Timber. I'm wondering, I don't know if this is a matchup he's expecting. Maybe he thinks he's going to be against the Wisp Tiny, but Timbersaw against Puck is also fine for the Timbersaw. So he's going to have a decent matchup there. I don't think he's not going to win the matchup, but he's definitely not going to lose it. He'll probably just trade farm somewhat with Puck. They can both bottle Crow. But Revenge themselves have gone offensive Trylane, so they're maybe expecting to go Trylane versus Trylane. They've got the ward behind the tower. They're looking for a fast first blood, and this Nyx is in all sorts of trouble. He's got to get a Carapace off during the stun, and he hasn't even leveled Carapace, but he gets vision of him. Doesn't get the Carapace off.
Here we go. They're going to follow it up. Illuminates there, but it's Carapace. He's got arrow if he wants to spend it. Nyx not exactly the most mobile target. They will catch him with the arrow. Do they have the damage? They will. No! One last auto attack would have done it. Mystico is going to go ahead and go for it, taking a big chance. DJ eats his way through a tree, makes it back under the tower. There's the Illuminate, just barely missed his tail. And now, the living armor keeping him alive. Mystico's still right on top of him. He's going to turn and start to auto attack, anticipating maybe, yes, tower. Finally switches aggro and gives him a couple of tower shots on the way. What an insane dive, and who'd have thought that both would walk away still standing.
Damn, DJ was like waiting and begging for that tower to finally assist him there. It really took its time. That Carapace came up just in time. If he gets hit by the Illuminate, straight up first blood. But the item build from DJ with the Stout Shield saves his life there. Even though he lives, he's still in a tough spot. He's used up Salve as well as 4 Tangos as a Nyx assassin. Like, that is... I mean, either way, you're against a Trylane. So I think whether you have Tangos or not, you're getting zoned out. And I like this. They haven't blocked the pull, so he can just straight up use the pull. He's going to actually get some farm and XP as a result.
Yeah, the result for this, I think, is actually a pretty big win for top 5. And granted, it's not likely to sustain for all the reasons you just named. But nonetheless, being able to dodge a bullet and keep things together a little while. Now, let's talk about bottom lane for a little bit. Binjaz manages to land himself a Torrent. But, yeah, he's down here. He should have no problem getting XP. What do you think the dive and kill potential is down here for top 5?
Yeah, they need the Leech Seed, which they've got now. I think the Treant had to go... He got Living Armor not because he wanted to, but to save the Nyx assassin. But with Leech Seed, they definitely can dive, kill Kunkka. The lane's also starting to push out. You've got the 2 range creeps on the Radiant side, which means Benjaz could be in some trouble.
Oh, there we go. There's the Avalanche to lead it off. They're all 3 right on top of him. Right clicks there. Oh, no, the Torrent caught 2. He's going to get back under the tower. They're going to dive it anyway. Screw it. They know how to dive. A tier 1 early as well. Tree Armor's there to help him out. TP's going to be coming in. Binjaz very low, though. And, yeah, he's going to end up being first blood nonetheless. Illuminate, though, gets at least 1 return kill. Towers doing good damage to whatever. One last auto attack might be enough. Masuko getting creep blocked a little bit and just going to give Tiny a pat on the back on the way out. So, In the end, it ends up being a 1-1 exchange. Top 5, though, with a little bit of an edge with the first blood.
Yeah, a little bit of an edge with the first blood, but they lose a lot of lane control at bottom. Like Patsol, the Treant getting very low. Patsol also now not necessarily going to be farming all too well with Keeper Alive down bottom. So I think it's okay for Revenge, although the gold advantage does go top 5's way.
Torrent hits, and so does the Illuminate, so Patsol taking a bit of damage, like you said, though. Having to rotate the Keeper of the Light down here, and he'll probably stick for a little while, one would think, just to make sure he does get a little bit of help. Let's talk about mid a bit. 18-2 right now for Smash. He's doing quite well. Not exactly a bad lane for Fly either, as he's 15-1. And, you know, who do you think this is going to favor? Say all things break even. Timbersaw getting this many levels and this much gold to start out, is that better than a Puck?
I think it's slightly better for Timbersaw.
Yeah.
I think he can do... I mean, Puck's going to be a slightly better ganker, but Timbersaw is just a lot scarier in general when he has farm. Like, Puck's, whether he has farm or not, he's a good ganker, good initiator. So I think the Timbersaw getting this farm is a little scarier, but I think it's what both teams expected when they sent these heroes mid. So it comes down a lot to just how the drafts play out.
Yep. Not down to mid-game game planning and what you intend to do with those. Right now, taking a look at Tiny. He's been down here, had a lot of help. 15 CS, not the end of the world. Kunkka sitting at 5, so running approximately 30% of his opponent. And at 4 minutes in, everything seems to be kind of calm, anticipating the 4-minute rune. We'll see when it's going to pop. And there's a leech seed on a Masoko. He's got people rotating in. That's going to be the IO hooking up with him. Now, he hits hard. Just right clicks alone. Spirit damage can't be underestimated either. Going to get a few pings off on him. Needs to bring those back in, get them lined up a little bit better. He might get one more shot from the tree. And Tree thought about it. TP's there, though. And, well, they forced the TP at the very least. Took a lot more damage there for whatever than he would have liked, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kunkka didn't rotate in for this one just yet. He still can. He's got a Torrent. Oh, no, he's got no mana. Now he has mana for it.
Ooh, Illuminate only catches the IO. They're right on his tail, though. And following him up. Here comes Smash. Smash! Not quite level 6, but no matter. Keeper of the Light manages to secure the kill from distance, so Smash at least there to share in the assist gold. So things seem to be going Revenge's way now.
Yeah, Kunkka also killed the Treant as Treant was retreating, so nicely played. Really good trade there for Revenge, getting 2 kills out of that one. And they've also left Mirana top, who does just fine solo 1v1 against Nyx Assassin, especially with the good early game start. He's already got the phase boots, and with phase boots, he dominates the last hits here. So he's got 27 CS to Nyx, who's got half of that.
Phase boots up on Patsol. Looking to be in pretty good shape. This is definitely, like you said, I mean, you're not going to have the Nyx Assassin feeling terrified here. He's going to get a lot of levels. But the Mirana should be able to farm fairly well. And, in fact, is now tied with Smash for overall top CS. And Patsol's by himself now. And he's going to be spotted. He's going to come in an avalanche, and he's going to get a kill in a 1-on-3 lane as he's able to make it away on top of that. So, top 5, getting one back for free there. Stree was nowhere near it.
Power of the Tiny. This is where Tiny is just so nice. Like, CK can't do that.
Yeah.
Tiny has that solo kill potential. Like, I think that's where Tiny's just really good, because he's got burst damage, and in the current metagame where people are picking a lot of defensive support, you look at heroes like Tree.
Oh, Mirana solo killed at top. I didn't think DJ was going to get him. I got the camera there in time to see it. He carapaced him, then had Vendetta, and used it immediately after a well-shot impale. So, just like that, top 5 takes a game that looked like might have been slipping away from them a little bit early on and turns it right back to even. 6 kills split right down the middle with 6 minutes in.
Yeah, that's a very important kill, I'd say. Acer in top right, and it looks like Smash going to pick that one up. Puck orbing down there won't commit to it, but that solo kill makes a big difference. When we talk about Mirana, Mirana was straight up winning that lane by a huge margin on CS, and Nyx Assassin gets so much out of that kill.
I think Mirana ends up building this out. I mean, whenever you find yourself in a situation like this, you're going to be up against a lineup that's going to be able to apply an immense amount of pressure. You have the range of Puck, you have relocate Tiny Ganks to worry about, and of course a Nyx Assassin, which has now been given an inordinately good start. How do you build her?
I think this is... Mihawk doesn't normally play the hard carry, so I think this will just be like a phase Aquila drums.
Yeah.
And then from there you can go into either Desolator, BKB, depending what your team needs. Maybe going to be a not bad BKB game, but... I don't think we'll see any greedy Midas play.
And Patsol thought about maybe taking a rush, was using the phase boots, but just comes in to snag a few last hits. Down at bottom, we can see Mystico still hanging out with Benjaz. Mystico is level 4, so not hurting terribly bad in terms of levels. I want to see how Mystico ends up building this. Blink Dagger on Wraith King, very, very strong. Yep. You can play him as just kind of an aura holder as well if he's able to get ahead, get up in early lads. Good candidate for Assault Cuirass and such, but I really like the synergy that I think they're going to have whenever it comes to their stuns and their ability to line things up off of the Wraith King Hellfire Blast. Set up a torrent, set up an arrow, etc.
DJs, Nyx has gone scouting bottom lane. We'll find Masoku. Needs to hit this Impale. He's going to get... Oh, misses the Impale in the end.
And here comes the boat. Boat going to come in. Damage not on the menu as Shanks is going to be able to retreat. One more. No! Do manage to get him. Kunkka secures that. And now DJ caught up with by the remainder of Revenge. Timber Chain enough to make it a 2-0. And Revenge, just as quick as they gave it back, they take control of the lead once again. It looks like they're in a position to push as they've got 4. Make that 5, actually.
And this is fighting this Timbersaw is so scary. His damage output with the 3 in Timber Chain, 3 in Whirling Death, he insta-kills so many of these heroes. Tiny's probably Tiny and Trina probably a little bit tinkier, but anyone else just melt his damage output.
Huh. He's got Masuko's Tranquil Boots. I just noticed that. Smash has Masuko's Tranquil Boots.
Whoops.
Yeah, I think he just handed them back.
He was trying to drop his Arcane Boots to use his bottle to get some more cost-effective mana.
Catches through. Mass TPs are coming in. Flies right there with him. They're just going to try to wait it out. There's going to be a Leech Seed onto the Slayer. Or Binjaz, I should say. He's going to be cleaned up as the Avalanche goes through. Moonlight Shadow. Smash now. Oh! Terrible time for a pause. And, yeah, they're not super happy about that. And I don't know that I would be either. Yeah. But they do manage to clean up the Kunkka behind that.
Yeah. I don't think the pause mana. No one on Revenge has mana. It's not like they can make a game plan to turn this around. The only one with mana is Mihawk, who can turn and throw an arrow. But beyond that, Revenge have to get out of here. Mystico has no stuns. Keeper Light is using an Illuminate, and Top 5 decide to back off. I think they didn't realize how low mana. Actually, they just chakra'd up the Wraith King. They actually gave him mana, so with that, maybe they could have turned it around. But well,
Wraith King not even level 6 yet.
I think Top 5 got scared by that pause, to be honest.
I agree with you. I think they got had a little bit of buyer's remorse and wanted to turn that around. It's a shame, too, because that probably could have gone much more in their favor if they had stuck with it. But as it stands, we're at 9 minutes in, 9 kills on the board. Staying about average. In terms of gold, we can see Revenge has earned themselves just shy of a 4-digit lead, just south of 1,000 overall lead. The experience is actually a much closer affair, still in favor of Revenge as well. So first 10 minutes in, who do you think's done the most work?
I think Revenge slightly. I think their mid game's pretty good. They need to get this Wraith King level 6, even as a support. You want to have that reincarnation. So I think when Wraith King's level 6, I think Keeper of the Light synergizes really nicely with the Wraith King, making sure he always has mana to use his ultimate and get off a couple extra stuns. So I definitely favor Revenge. For top 5, they need to get this Tiny farm. The Wiz Tiny is a big thing for them. That's their kind of more late game plan. And I think they're almost going to have to play towards that late game because their team fight just doesn't really match up too well.
Yeah, the Tiny level 7 now. Wisp is actually very close to level 6. He's about level 5.5, a little south of that. So not going to be long before that's going to be something they're going to have to worry about. And in terms of just the overall kill potential, it's huge on the side of top 5. And but then, granted, you have heroes that can get themselves out of trouble fairly frequently. For Revenge, you've got X marks the spot. You've got Moonlight Shadow to help everyone. You're going to have Wraith King's Ult. You're going to have Timbersaw, who innately the hero just with Timber Chain can be rather tough to track down. But looks like they're trying to make a trade. They've left Masuko down just south of their tier 1, anticipating the push, and now they've rotated 3 up to push to tier 1 here.
We may need to TP out very soon. Sees the Nyx looking around, so this actually is a good sign to him that he could be in some trouble, but he'll hug the tower for now.
Io still not level 6, and up atop just the tree solo defending here. It looks like both teams are a little gun shy at the moment, not willing to try. Looks like they got the dives out of their system early on.
If Revenge see Wisp isn't level 6, maybe they're worried he's just at level 6 off a creep wave and can relocate the Tiny in, but as long as Wisp isn't level 6, Tiny does have a TP and is going to TP top.
Big engagement. They're going to try to follow it up. Boat's going to be on the mark, and whatever eats the bulk of that, he'll be brought down immediately. The Avalanche toss is there on Binjaz, though. Can they turn it around off of that Hellfire Blast? They can. Smash comes in doing good work and cleaning up shop underneath of his own tier 1. DJ next on the list. The rotation on point from Revenge as they make it a 4-for-1 exchange. They do end up losing Binjaz, but bringing down both the Tiny and the Nyx, well worth their time and their effort.
The boat making Benjas take the reduced damage was so clutch there. He stayed alive so long, and he tanked all of those nukes. Tiny used his full combo, Nyx used an Impale, and he only just went down. It was a single ranged creep attack that killed him as he was TPing, because after the rum effect wears off, you lose all that HP, and it's not fatal, so it left him on 1 HP. Range creep comes in, snipes him, but it was still a fantastic fight for Revenge. That Kunkka, Benja's playing the hard carry, but showing that he'll die for the greater good, and that was just a fantastic fight for Revenge.
Yeah, the boat, well placed. And, you know, you forget how hard that thing can be to aim properly. You know, it can be tough to get on point like that. And definitely wasn't the difference maker that time around. Taking a look at Mirana. Looks like you're on the money, as you usually are, my very, very insightful friend. He'll be getting his drums up. Actually has them complete at the moment. Take a look at Smash. Point booster is done, so looking to get himself a Bloodstone, while Mihawk, Masuko, he's actually picked up a point booster as well. Could be an Ags rush on the Coddle. How do you feel about the the buff to Coddle Axe?
I mean, I kind of have to, like, I've been listening to Synderen for the last 48 hours, just keep on talking about how good it is. So by now, I'm a convert. Synderen just loves this item on Keeper Light. He thinks the hero should be run solo mid, and I definitely think as a 4-position support, it's a really good hero, and Aghanim Scepter is fantastic on him.
Yeah, I really want to see it. Really want to see it.
The Perma ulti form is just so good, because Recall and Blinding Light are additional skills.
On to 2 now. Io is 6. He can relocate. They're going to try to come in. There's going to be another boat, though. Torrent's on the mark. Shanks in some trouble. He'll be cleaned up. Tiny came in with the Io. Arrow taken in the chest by that creep. And very luckily, they may have been able to track him down if he had gotten the stun. So the relocate was there, but it just doesn't matter, as top 5 just doesn't have the punching power right now. And we're seeing exactly what you had outlined earlier, my friend. The power of Timbersaw. Why he's scary. Why, if you can get him mid and win him that lane, hold up. He's not scary whenever he's silenced, but Patsoul comes back in with a toss avalanche. Ben Jazz dead again as Fly cleans him up with an auto attack. They're a little spread out right now. Mystico does have enough mana for his ulti, at least for the moment, so be aware of that. Leap to the high ground from Mihawk, and DJ right beside his buddy.
Well, Kunkka's brought back, so they do want to try and re-engage here, but it looks like they may just have to go for the T1 tower instead. As we'll see top 5 just back off for now. We'll see if they try and contest it. Without Dreamcall, it will be tricky.
They're in a position. Coil up in 30 seconds. They'll know they can hang on that long.
No, they've thrown the orb now. Once they throw the orb, that's like a quarter of their damage output, which they can't fight without.
Oh, that actually hits Shanks at near mag.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
they're going to engage off of that.
Yeah.
That was such bad luck. He actually phase shifted. The puck did. Phase shifted through so the arrow could go through, and ended up hitting the Io behind him. And ends up being another free kill for Revenge, as they're now beginning to snowball quite hard. Top 2 in overall CS. Puck and Tiny for top 5, so it's not as if they're hopeless, but they have lost control of the map for sure, and it could just get worse now as we see a 5-man smoke, a fake back out of Revenge.
Yeah, it's a 3-tower advantage as well, which is a lot of gold, edging out Revenge over their opponents, and just gives them a lot of these early game core items. So full wraparound towards this mid-tier 2 tower. As long as they've got boat up, I think this is a good idea, and they do.
And they're looking to make something happen. Here we go, Masuko, ulti form. And they're going to try to pursue them down. There's going to be the Timber Chain, and they spot it out. They're going to try to run. Nope, Chakram's there to slow them both. Throws the coil down, but there's not going to be any reinitiation off of it. They clean up the tree for free. And even though the puck does manage to make it to safety, really doesn't matter. Smash is now on a dominating streak. He's so close to getting up his soul booster, man.
Puck missed his blink.
Oh,
He missed it. He tried to blink to the rune. Oh, dear.
Oh, he almost auto-attacked.
They pinged him as well. They know he's here.
Yeah, he's having to stop his auto-attack. Yeah, Smash maybe?
Oh, he got his blink up now.
There it is. He goes across.
Okay.
And TP's away.
Yeah, that one was on purpose, I believe. But
Yeah.
That they were spamming pings on him, so they knew he was there, but I guess they thought he had mana to orb out, because they didn't actually have observer vision. They just saw the initial blink up. But, yeah, that was very dicey for the puck.
Goldgraph tells us 5,000 is the lead now for Revenge, in excess of, actually. And the experience not quite as bad, but still in that general range. Revenge, I don't know. Like, Tiny is such a peak and valley hero, it feels. You know, I've always felt that way. He tends to peak early with the power of Toss Avalanche, especially with an Io. His gank potential is just huge. And the idea is once he starts to valley down a little bit and require farm to really become that beast in the late game you want him to be, if you can get in there, then yeah, he's going to live up to expectation. But even though he's sitting on top in last hits, he's middle of the pack in terms of overall net worth. Do you think he's had a good enough start that he's still a late game hope?
I think he is a... Wow, nice arrow.
Oh, Fly. Caught with the arrow, and tree armor helps, but
Just
not
barely.
that much. So Mihawk gets another kill. Please continue, though.
No, I think his early game's been pretty average. It hasn't been, I mean, he's definitely kept up as far as farm goes. He hasn't got too many kills with the early Avalanche toss, but he's in a spot where he can transition to late game, but they're at the stage where he has to transition to late game.
Right.
He can't look to... Like, normally you look at your Wiz Tiny, you think from about 10 to 20 minutes you want him ganking a bit, but now it's like ganks aren't working. Revenge of 5-manning, it's farm mode for the Tiny, and farm modes come a lot earlier than you would like it to.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, he's having to fight a much bigger battle uphill to get out of that valley. He valleyed a lot quicker than he would have liked. And they're going to go ahead and continue to bang away on this tier 2. That's going to prompt 2 reactions. Arrows on the mark, but it's Carapace. And let's see if they want to turn it around. DJ, boat on the way, and here comes the relocate. This could be a big chance to turn around. Ben Jazz still alive for a little while. Overgrowth locked him down, and Ben Jazz finally will be cleaned up. But Mystico's right there. They don't want to engage, but Smash comes in and catches all 4 with the Timber Chain, and they're ready to lock it down from behind. As right now, Tiny, oh, what a beautifully placed arrow. Don't know if it was luck or skill. Either way, he'll take it, I'm sure. 15-7 following that engagement. Looked like it was a big opportunity to get this game back under control. Instead, Revenge continues to roll and takes yet another tower. Only 2 tier 2s still remaining.
Smash has lost his boots. Where's his arcane boots? Oh, what?
He lost his boots.
I think he accidentally sold his arcane boots when he meant to disassemble them and he sold them. Is what I think happened. I was watching him try to buy Bloodstone. I'm like, wait, Smash, where are your boots, man? I don't think they got, like, maybe the die side stole them or destroyed them, but I don't think that happened. I think he accidentally sold them, but...
He may have just been in a hurry.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, didn't have time to drop them on the ground, put them together, reassemble and all that. Well, I'm trying to check everyone, see if there's any arcane
die
boots.
side haven't picked them up or anything. Maybe they could have destroyed them if he dropped them on the ground, but I imagine he just had them, he accidentally sold it. He's bought some new boots anyway, so problem avoided, but yeah, still a slight loss in gold.
Been a hell of a game for Mihawk and Smash combined, by the way. They're sitting at 8-1 collectively. And not too bad whenever you're talking about an overall 15 kills.
Yeah, 8-1 and like 9 assists between them as well. So it's not like they're just getting a few kill secures here and there. They're actually taking part in a lot of fights.
Yep. And heroes like that benefit so much more. Tiny sitting in 3rd overall in net worth. We see Benjaz is right there with Mystico, maybe looking to take a run. Still very tough to bring down.
Benjaz has played an interesting role. He's got the 5 deaths to his name, and but he's always the one who's taking a lot of the spells, taking the brunt of the aggression, and staying alive long enough that the rest of his team can do the damage. And it's Mirana and Timbersaw who actually, and even Keeper of the Light with level 4 Illuminate, that's actually just as scary as a lot of these other spells. As long as he gets a boat and a torrent off in a fight, doesn't matter if he dies.
Tiny manages to take a tower at bottom. We just saw a ward go down behind the tier 2 and a very quick D ward. But yeah, I agree with you, by the way. I just didn't want to make it sound like I wasn't listening. It just thought there might be action. But yeah, Benjaz has really served his role great. Where the hell did that happen? Smash is just going ham down on bottom as he tallies another kill for free. That's going to be Io down for 20 seconds. Tree armor up to try and buy a little bit of time, but not going to be able to buy enough. The heroes are just getting so farmed. And oh, Caudle so close to his Ags, man. They bring this tower down, it'll be done.
And the thing is, top 5 C Smash bottom lane, but he can be recalled in at any time. That's the scary thing about versing Keeper of the Light. You can have heroes defending other lane, going for those kills like just there on the Wisp, and then Caudle can just bring him right back in with a recall.
Yep, looks like they might be.
Oh, they've got Ags already. This is scary, because most of the games so far I've seen with the Caudle Ags, I mean, Syndra described, they've either been games where Keeper of the Light was so far behind the Ags didn't matter, or games where Keeper of the Light was so far ahead it just felt like it didn't matter as well. So this is one of the few games where Revenge are ahead, but by no means is it a convincing lead, and I think this Aghanim Scepter is going to be a huge pickup. Combine the heal with the Kunk who's always in the front lines taking a lot of damage and dying. This Illuminate heal could save his life.
Wraith King as well. Think about that. Not only do you have to kill him, but you have to kill him while he's getting healed. It's not fair, dude. It's like, wow, boss fight mode.
He needs to start throwing these Illuminates. That heals.
Well, not going to be hard to kill him this time. So he ends up dropping, and they manage to bring down Caudle. Here comes the boat. That's going to catch all 4. Benjaz ready to follow it up. DJ's down, as is the Io. They're going to try to chase down whatever. He's going to get behind the tower, and Tiny can do nothing but retreat. Smash is there to clean up the remainder. And very well shot from Benjaz that time around. That was a little bit of poor luck for Revenge, and it looked like top 5 had a chance to take another fight. It just feels like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Every time they're in a good position, even going all the way back to that engagement at bottom where there was the unfortunate pause, and they decided to break off from there. It just seems like there's been so many missed opportunities for top 5 this game.
Yeah, it really does. They pick up the Keeper Light who was completely out of position there, and with Keeper dead, that should be a good fight for them. The problem is Wraith King gets the slow on everyone, and that once you're slowed up by 75%, you're not moving anywhere. You're forced to stand and fight, and when that boat comes in, it's the boat on top of the 75% movement speed, but none of them could even get out of it. They all got hit by it, and from there it just went quickly downhill.
Yep. And, you know, in the end, I mean, like, just to throw that out for maybe some mind gaming, you think maybe that was the plan with Mystico? Because he was running around with very little health intentionally. Like, he was not looking like he wanted to go back. You think maybe that was the idea? Let's just run in, suicide, get a stun off, get the slow, and then shoot the boat.
I think Mystico, yeah. I think for him, that's fine. I think it was Masoku who was standing right next to him, who should have been sitting way further back. Yeah. Just using his Illuminate, because it was still daytime then and could have been getting some heals off. But Masoku, not the best position, but Mystico, yeah. I think generally they were looking to use Reincarnation to bait out a good team fight.
Want to point out, by the way, Scepter on Keeper of the Light came out before Tiny's did. How often do you see that with a Tiny Io?
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a struggling game for Tiny. I keep forgetting who the name of the player is playing because I'm not from Patsoul.
Patsoul, yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a struggle for him this game. They're zoning them off of this tier 2 top, and that's going to be the last vestige of map control, falling to shambles there. What's the plan, man? Do you just hope for mistakes if you're top 5?
Ideally, you'd want to be split pushing, but split pushing against Keeper with Axe is just not really possible. Smash can just go back and defend on Timbersaw, because even during nighttime, you always have Recall and Blinding Light up. And the other thing is, Blinding Light wrecks Tiny, I think. It's the mischance just makes it really hard for Tiny to actually teamfight when he's got Blinding Light on him. 80% mischance for 3, 4, 5 seconds at level 3 for Spirit Form. So he's going to have level 2, depending if he levels it up at level 11, but that's a 4-second 80% miss for Tiny in a team fight. He may have his Ag Scepter, but he's not going to be getting many right clicks off in these fights.
This Keeper is just going to be able to perma-spam one of these lanes as long as he cares to. Like, that's exactly what he's doing. And just keeping this top lane shoved as we see the rest of Revenge actually spreading out and just taking farm up. DJ, got to make a run at Mihawk. He's going to go for it.
He needs backup, I think, and if he goes...
Ooh, Fly gave it away. Nope, there's a coil. They will try to follow it. Mihawk going to eat the Vendetta. Mana burn after, didn't even need it. As the orb, more than enough to bring it down, so at least a little bit of time to breathe now if you're top 5.
Yeah, this is a nice dominating streak again, so 500 plus gold going the way of Nyx, and I think the plan for top 5 is to go for pickoffs and ganks. Like, ideally they'd be split pushing, but I just don't think it works too well against the Revenge lineup. I mean, they can split push more just to get farm, not so much to apply pressure.
Right.
But I think they want to use smokes fairly soon and just go for, just keep trying to get as many pickoffs as possible. When they see 2, 3, 4 heroes on the map, try and gank someone who's not with the rest of the team.
Right. And we're going to see a relocate. Yep, that actually
just
brought Smash back up towards top. Patsoul and Shanks both going to withdraw very quickly. It's hard to believe we're just 24 minutes into this game. The item progression is actually kind of insane. It makes it feel much later. Blink Dagger did finish for Wraith King in the meantime. Smash also picked himself up a Blink that we haven't really talked about. He has 2k gold, 2,400 gold also set aside, as well as 10 charges on his
they found DJ at the secret shop, but he gets Vendetta off. And I think the other thing, it feels like we're almost heading late game just because of what Revenge are doing. They've taken all the outer towers. They're keeping top 5 bottled in their base. They're trying to pressure and siege for high ground. It does feel like we're almost, for Revenge especially, it feels like we're in this mid to late game stage where we're much beyond the 24-minute mark because of how farmed some of these heroes are.
Masuko is just flash farming the jungle, by the way. Like, seriously, I'm trying to watch other heroes, but watching Scepter Keeper is pretty entertaining.
And now that it's daytime, I think they maybe push high ground because daytime's important because the Keeper Light Illuminate. For those of you who don't know, tuning in on the stream, the new Aghanim Scepter upgrade on Keeper Light, his Illuminate heals for 75% of the damage on ally heroes, as well as units. So it even heals your creep wave, as you can see there at the top lane.
And now Fly caught right underneath his own tier 3. That's a huge loss. Does he have buyback? Yes, he does. He'll spend it immediately, and this is going to be a last stand. They really can't afford to have him die back here, and they're going to retreat. So really willing to play patiently, still forcing the puck there. And down at bottom, actually they're going to respond with Smash heading down and cleaning up the IO. Patsoul going to try to TP away, should be able to, as, no stuns, sorry. Smash manages to get one kill, but, you know, this is actually not bad for top 5. They held their tier 3. If they hadn't lost the puck, if they had managed to hold their tier 3 and force that retreat, hang on, DJ, once again, right in the back pocket of Mihawk. No one really near to follow up if he does decide to engage here. Boots of Travel done on Smash. That's actually a pretty big pickup worth mentioning. Now the Vendetta impales off the mark, and he will just blink away following the mana burn, so just a little bit of pat on the back.
I think the travel when you have a Keeper of the Light, though, because I think he's buying the Boots of Travel to stop the split push, so then he can rejoin with his team, but Keeper of the Light just recalls him, and that's what happens just now, so... It saves, at the end of the day, it saves him TP money, like, long-term, because he has to keep buying TP scrolls to go back and then get recalled in, but...
Yeah, it just, usually, whenever you see a Timbersaw get to this point, where he's honestly so big, he's got this many charges, why not? Because you're just saving yourself long-term investment in the TPs, you're very, very quick, and like you said, it gives you a lot more flexibility in your movement, especially once towers begin to drop across the map, and right now, that's not as big an issue, but it could be.
Yeah.
So, 21-9, and top 5 looking good. They're farming there, they're going to siege the tier 3 at top. I'm sure we'll see them relocate back very soon.
Yeah.
And
sieging's always tricky against the Treant Protector, because if you don't bring down the tower, he heals it up over time, and that's where you've got to get the full objectives here. Smash once again going to TP bottom, and then this time, well, once again, he's looking for the Wisp, but doesn't seem he'll find it.
He's going to force Patsoul to go back. Now, he's going to be able to be recalled home if he wants to.
Yeah.
Arrow shot, arrow misses, splits the wickets between the tree and the puck. And this tower, the tree is actually helping him keep this alive, but it's so hard. Like, we just saw the heal right there on the creeps as well as on the Mystico.
Yeah.
And They can just do this forever. Like, the Coddle at this point is an infinite...
Oh, Smash found the Wisp.
Yep. Smash is indeed godlike, as I think many viewers would agree. But it's basically an infinite well of mana and health now.
At the same time, top 5 have infinite health on this tower, so,
Yeah,
in some
point.
sense. So they can infinitely siege, but top 5 can also infinitely keep on healing up the tower. So at some point, Revenge have to commit and try bring down the tower in one full push. And we'll see them try and dive in. If they kill the Treant, that's the best way to get the tower. 30 seconds, no Treant. He buys back almost as much to keep this tower living armor as anything. Like, he's just got to stay alive. And Smash, well, he's just smashing through top 5 right now.
Worth mentioning, there is no more buyback remaining on the side of top 5. They have no one who's eligible for buyback.
Yeah.
And now they're going to engage. There's going to be a coil, not bad, followed up by Patsoul. They're going to be able to bring down Mihawk. Here comes the boat, and it's turned around right on top of them. There's the Coddle Blast, quoting you, Toby, to help heal everyone up. That's the first I've ever done that without meaning to. So, in the moment, Coddle Blast just came out a little easier than Illuminate, but it's going to be enough for them to secure a tier 3.
Here's another heal.
Yep,
Oh, man, that
Mystico
heal.
still alive somehow. It's still not down. Patsoul coming back in, wants to kill off Masoko. He's going to be caught with a Torrent. Now we're going to see Shanks hook back up. Looks like they're going to be able to run them out, and he's actually going to juke them around the trees. Patsoul finally enough to corral him. Benjaz is right on top of him, though, along with Mystico. Mystico's ulti was spent in that last little bit of the engagement, so he's going to play a little bit more carefully. Now Smash is still just going ham. He's, yeah, that's not your well.
That's
That's
going to
not your
BKB.
well.
He wants to buy this, and now he's just
He
destroyed them.
bought the BKB
Oh.
out of the enemy well, activates it as they chase him into their own behind the ancient area and gets a kill. Now, I guess Tiny must have just gotten buyback. He didn't have it a moment ago. There's going to be an Impale that catches through. They'll follow it up with an Avalanche Toss combo. Smash is going to be able to retreat. BKB up on Benjaz, throws the boat, and Patsoul trying to kill Smash but just can't get it. Urn Charge is there to help heal him up. Shanks back up, now hooking up with Patsoul. DJ's there, has an Impale at the ready, will spend it and will catch Smash. Could be a big kill if they can secure it. Toss is there, Smash using the Timber Chain, assisted by Mirana's ulti. And a one last blink, and they are charging out, just dying to find him. Mystico spotted just to the south. He got hit with the coil. There's going to be an arrow. Catches DJ. Mystico just trying to wait this out. Avalanche actually misses. Now Smash re-engaging, using the Chakram to try to buy some time. Urn Charge is being traded, and it looks like Mihawk got a little overzealous in trying to help his team out. There's going to be an overgrowth. That catches Smash. Does he have the damage to scare them off? He sure does with Mystico's help. And now, top 5 back on the run. The cat barks at the dog as they're able to secure a couple of return kills. They have to scramble now. Mystico, though, is finally going to be picked off with one last swing of the big tree. Masuku there, and the toss onto Smash. Smash is still alive! Here comes Benjaz running through the rum. Masuku back up as well, and there's going to be the mana leak that secures the kill on Tiny. Nyx Assassin is bought back in the meantime. Tiny's down for the count. He's down for 66 full seconds as of now. DJ back up. Smash is going to BKB and go right to work. Carapace doesn't matter. Vendetta, no detection to try and track him down, and Smash finally going to break off the siege. DJ's doubling back around looking for Benjaz. He's still under cover of Vendetta, has Impale and Mana Burn at the ready. Smash back in, recalled by Masuko, but it looks like they're not aware that DJ is nearby, so they're able to set up station once again here in the jungle. Please talk, gods, I need a breath.
You said it right. Cat bites the dog there. Smash had 9 lives that fight.
Yeah,
he was just unable to
definitely.
bring him down. He's now got 19 Bloodstone charges as well. This guy is just on fire right now. I mean, when Smash brings his A game, Revenge just, they look impressive. They look huge. And now we're looking Keeper of the Light buys a full Necrobook 3. After a long drawn-out fight, which Revenge are the only one getting kills in, suddenly they've got so much farm, so much just disposable income that they're going to be taking this next push with like twice as many items, and it's going to get impossible to deal with.
29-13 is the kill score. We're at 30 minutes into this game. The gold very handily in favor of Revenge, as one would imagine. However, I think it's worth mentioning Top 5 has done an admirable job of keeping these 2 racks up, man. They really have. It's almost hard to believe. They've been under siege for 10 to 15 minutes straight now, and they've managed to keep the base together. Problem. Oh, hello, Smash. Found himself an IO for about the 15th time here this game. His kill count is climbing, and all the while, Top 5's chances for a win diminishing. Now it looks like these racks might be in mortal danger. Fly has coil at the ready if he wants to engage. So hard to do, though. And we're actually going to see him come back in. Smash trying to chase someone down. Is going to find whatever once again. And able to get the kill. Pops the BKB. DJ doing what damage he can. Tower damage, really the big threat. He throws the Chakram out and is trying, was waiting on Fly to come back out of phase shift. And in the meantime, he's created nothing but space for the rest of his team to finally bring this top set of racks down.
It's so scary, this Timbersaw. He just blinks in. He can insta-kill Wisp, Treant, probably not the other heroes, but Treant's the hero keeping these racks alive. And he blinks on Treant, just does a ton of damage. With a Mjolnir charge on himself,
Oh,
he
God.
is just one of the scariest heroes in the game.
This is brutal. By the way, you want to talk
Yeah.
about scary? How about this Keeper of the Light? Think he's farmed a bit? He just picked up
Yeah.
a book 3 in one shot.
Not bad, not bad. These next push, I think they may just take Roshan before they push. It is, I mean, do or die. For Revenge lose this game, they're 100% out. If they
Yep.
win out, they're maybe alive, but it all comes down to whether or not EHUG lose a game as well as some of the other teams in the running. So for now, it's just win out the rest of your games if you're Revenge, but even then, it may not be enough.
You can't fake desperation, man. Like, I don't care what anyone says. You put, like, trying to play desperate and being in a desperate situation that forces you to play desperate, two different things. And Revenge, don't know if they're just having a good game, don't know if they just had top 5's number, or don't know if they're just playing desperate, but they're sure looking good. Arrow's going to split the wickets once again, fly, and whatever's actually going to be. Cobb with the Torn, they're going to engage off of it. Mystico comes on in. There's going to be the Chakram that goes down. Vendetta, irrelevant. As the BKB, not a problem. They're going to double back through the boat. And now it looks like this tier 3 in some real danger. Tree's down for 33 seconds. Don't think he has buyback. We'll double check. He does not. So, the glyph has been used. Tree's down for 25. This Tiny has got to get something done. He's hooked up with Shanks. Looks like they're just going to TP back home.
They know they're not going to, I mean, at best they maybe get a T2 tower for a Rax, and that's just a losing exchange.
That used
my
to be
God.
a Nyx assassin.
Yeah, now the remains of a Nyx assassin. Arrow hits Shanks in.
Yeah, he actually had to use it. He actually had to use Timbersaw. Somehow got a kill on Puck. I didn't even see how it happened. Smash is still going to go for a triple kill. Makes it a hat trick, picking off the IO. Mystico playing brave, and might end up paying for it. Does have enough mana for his ulti, so he should be fine even if he does end up dropping. In fact, Smash might initiate off of this if he does die. Yep, there you go. Chalk him in. They can't go anywhere. Max damage on everyone. Overgrowth helps to slow things down, but here comes the boat. That's going to be a dead tree, and the rest of Revenge applauding, as that's an ultra kill for Smash to close this one out in just about 34 minutes. What a game, 36-13, and Pat Soul there manages to make it away and not be another kill tallied. But what a performance out of Smash, man.
I don't think I've ever
20
seen.
and 0. I didn't even check.
That's, I think, the best Timbersaw performance I've ever seen. Like, I don't. I mean, I'm not to. I don't think. I mean, I think I've seen better. Like, more. I mean, it's the highest impact Timbersaw. Like, as far as like snowballing at control goes, it doesn't get any better than that.
No.
Like, that is just. He just put on a show for everyone.
Well, let's take a look at our standout performers. I think there's one that goes without saying. Smash at 20, 0, and 7, involved in 27 of 36 overall kills. Poor Shanks. Tough hero, man.
Very tough game.
0 and 14.
I think the one big hero which didn't get a lot of, recognition that game, and he's a support, is Mystico on the Wraith King. He played amazing. He set up so many good kills. He was the initiator in so many of these fights, and yeah, he did absolutely fantastic this game on the Wraith King. So
hell of a game, man. And that's honestly, I think, been the most fun game I've had a chance to cast so far. Even though it wasn't close, it was just a freaking blast, if nothing else.
I honestly, I enjoy one-sided games if they're games like that, or they're games that just have a lot of aggression or like interesting strategies.
Right.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to see.
Let's theory craft it. Other than just playing better, what could top 5 maybe have done to change things up?
The lanes, I think the offensive challenge just wasn't a good idea. I think Wisp, Tiny, and Tree and Protector isn't strong enough. Tiny at level 1, level 2 doesn't really have enough killing power, so I think they need to do the Wisp, Tiny mid. They wanted to send Wisp. They didn't want to do Wisp, Tiny safe lane because that's where the offensive challenge was. Revenge started with 3 heroes top, so you avoid the offensive challenge just by putting Wisp, Tiny mid.
Right.
Puck safe lane against Trowland, that's a good matchup for top 5. They're not going to. Puck's obviously losing the lane, but he's a hero you had to kill. So I think if they do Nyx bottom lane, off lane, with Puck safe lane, they're much better position.
Yeah, Coach.gods, man. Revenge finishes up and gets a win when they had to have one. They're still very much on the outside looking in terms of bubble predictions, but they do have a chance. They're going to need a lot of help, though. They need a lot of teams to lose in key positions, and they certainly have to continue to win out. What's our next match? I can't remember.
Our next match, because scheduled in front of me, is going to be No Earth Spirit versus Shadows.
That should be coming up really soon, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're a bit past schedule. So.
Yep, No Earth Spirit versus Shadows. I'm AC, that's Gods. Where can they find more about you, my friend?
I'm on Twitter at BTSGods, as well as all over the Beyond the Summit streams, so twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit, as all of you know.
Make sure you follow him on Twitter as well, and you can find me, I'm AC, at AYESEE, and on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and elsewhere. It's ACTV, AYESEE TV. Once again, this is the Penthouse stream from Beyond the Summit. This is the North American Hub coverage of TI4, our coverage presented by Monster Energy. We'll be right back with our next match coming up soon. Stick with us, guys.